Today in Portland, e-bikes, legal wins, and sports negotiations take center stage. I'm Leah.
And I'm Garrett.
Welcome to Laid Back Local, the news of the day with Leah and Garrett from Portland, Oregon.
First up, Portlanders have shattered Seattle's previous e-bike ride record. On July 19th, the city marked Biketown's 10th birthday with a massive group ride, and 1,060 riders showed up. That's a Guinness World Record for the most e-bikes in a group ride. Biketown is the city's bike share program. It launched in 2016 with regular bikes, then switched to a fully electric fleet in 2020. Since launch, people have taken more than 3.9 million rides. That's a lot of orange bikes rolling around. The event doubled down on Portland's push toward cleaner commutes. When we say sustainable transportation, we mean ways of getting around that cut down on pollution and congestion. Bikes and e-bikes are a big part of that. And even though Biketown's pricing has its critics, interest is strong. The Portland Clean Energy Community Benefits Fund, which is a city program that helps pay for clean energy projects, has rebates that help people afford e-bikes. That support keeps the momentum going.
That's so wild. Breaking Seattle's record is like a little friendly sibling rivalry moment. It also says a lot about how people here actually want options that are easy, fun, and climate-friendly. When more than 1,000 folks show up with charged batteries and helmets, that's community pride on two wheels. I'm picturing a future commute where it's just a quiet hum of motors on the bridges. That's pretty cool, right? Next up, Portlander Jonah Spring wins a $32,000 lawsuit over unfair landlord charges. Here's the gist. Jonah Spring, a local renter, took his landlord to court over unfair charges and a rent increase, and he won $32,000. This kind of outcome underscores tenant rights, basically the rules that protect renters from being overcharged, penalized without cause, or pushed around by improper fee hikes. It's a reminder that leases are contracts. If your rights are violated, you can seek justice. A quick practical note. If something feels off with your rental, document it. Save emails, take photos, keep receipts, and read the lease carefully. I know it's dense, but it tells you what both sides agreed to. When people do speak up, cases like Jonah's show there can be real consequences for unfair practices.
Yeah, that hits different. A win like that might give other renters the push to question charges that don't line up with the lease. Why do these disputes blow up in the first place? Honestly, confusion and power imbalance. People think they have no leverage. Better awareness and easy-to-find resources could level that out. Even just knowing what the lease says and what the law allows can change the entire conversation. Next up, Moda Center lease negotiations hit a snag, surprising the Portland City Council. On July 16th, the city sent a draft term sheet to Trailblazers management for a long-term lease. A term sheet is basically a starter list of proposed deal points. It's not the final contract. The proposal says the city could contribute up to $120 million for renovations. In exchange, the team would commit to stay in Portland for 20 years. It also asks Rip City Management, the Blazers Arena Operations Company, to make about $3 million in annual payments to offset lost property tax revenue. Here's where it got tense. Several city councilors said they were caught off guard since they hadn't been fully looped in before the draft went out. That can weaken a negotiating position. When decision makers aren't aligned, it's harder to speak with one voice. And for broader context, the NBA's commissioner, Adam Silver, had already warned that talks seemed off track. That's never the note you want to hear when an arena upgrade and a long lease are in play.
Real talk. If the council felt blindsided, it raises the transparency flag. A public facility deal touches taxpayers, fans, and businesses around the arena. Why push a draft before your own house is aligned? I get urgency, but inclusive decision-making usually saves time later. Long-term, the stakes are huge. We're talking city finances, the Blazers' future here at home, and the ripple effect on the district's jobs and culture. Let's not let this one slide by. The details really matter. Next up, the Trump administration's repeal of a conservation rule raises concerns for Oregon's public lands. In 2026, the administration rescinded the Conservation and Landscape Health Rule. To rescind means to roll back or cancel a rule. That policy had prioritized conservation when federal agencies managed public lands. In Oregon, the Bureau of Land Management, or BLM, oversees more than 15 million acres. With the rule gone, there's more room for extraction activities, like lithium mining for batteries and logging for timber. Supporters of development see economic opportunity, conservation groups see environmental risks. This move fits a broader deregulatory agenda, which is a push to reduce or loosen rules on industries. It's facing public opposition and legal challenges. The core tension is familiar: jobs and materials we all use versus safeguarding habitat, water, and climate. In a state with so much public land, the balance point really matters.
That's a curveball for Oregon's landscape. I'm not going to lie, the environmental implications feel heavy. Once you cut a forest or dig into a basin, it's hard to put that back the way it was. Why pull the rule now? From their side, it's about speeding projects and meeting material demand. But on the ground here, we see watersheds, trails, and wildlife. It's that classic push and pull, development versus conservation. I could get behind a plan that truly weighs both, with clear guardrails and local input. Speaking of climate impacts, that actually brings us to the wildfire situation in parts of Oregon. Last up, wildfire evacuation orders affect more than 1,000 people in Oregon. As of July, more than 1,000 Oregonians were under evacuation orders due to wildfire risks. We're seeing the pattern we know too well. Hotter, drier conditions mean longer seasons and faster-moving fires. Climate change, simply put, is shifting the baseline. Higher average temperatures and drier fuels make it easier for small sparks to become big incidents. Preparedness matters. Keep a go bag with essentials like meds, water, chargers, and copies of key documents. Plan 2 routes out in case one is blocked, and sign up for local alerts. For neighborhoods in fire-prone areas, clearing brush away from structures can slow a fire's approach. Small steps add up when minutes count.
Totally. My heart is with folks packing up on short notice. The urgency here is real. Supporting evacuees with housing, food, and mental health care matters just as much as the fire lines. And big picture, reducing risk means both immediate readiness and long-term work on climate, forests, and resilient infrastructure. Let's not wait for the next red flag warning to start that conversation. That's all for today's news from Portland on Laid Back Local with Leah and Garrett.
Stay safe and join us again tomorrow for more updates.